Hey, howdy, hello, happy 2024. Let's talk about the top 25 albums. 2023. Appreciate you stopping by. I really don't just want to showcase big names. I want to show you the stuff that I really dug personally, that I bought physicals of in a lot of cases, that I really, it's one of my favorite series of the year, going through the best of the best, but wanted to make it a little cozy, and it just so happens there's a lot of renovation going on. Try to make the studio a little bit better too, but some unintentional ASMR never hurts, or so I'm told. So we're going to keep it cozy. We don't even have a light on. All we have is just you and me and a microphone. Feel free to follow along in the document there. I make a playlist, all this stuff, so it's really nice and easy, because throughout the year it's really hard to keep track of the amazing music that comes out every single year. I like to do that. Or you can just listen along. Chris Stapleton's higher. I'm going to go through some honorable mentions. Chris Stapleton's higher. Do I think Chris Stapleton could have hit a little higher notch? Maybe. It's not From Maroon Volume 1 or 2. We're not going to compare. Okay? Because I know you people want to. Because he's a legend. And he's put out some amazing music. But I got to tell you, stuff on here. Just simple Southern goodness. From a man, myth, legend. But also 100 gecs. Oh, I skipped Blink 182. I don't even know which one to pick of this next one. Blink 182's One More Time album. It could have been a top 10 album for me. There's some moments where the songwriting backs down a little bit, and I don't know, the mixing is sort of almost futuristic. It's got very, very 21st century treble mixing. But the boys are all back. It's just amazing to hear them write songs really from the heart and just in a way that they wanted to. So I loved listening to it. I did thoroughly enjoy the 100 gecs as well this year. Jeez. 10,000 gecs was the name of the album. And I talked about Doritos and Fritos as my top songs of last year, but and Hollywood Baby as well. But the whole album is just hilarious electronic. I'm going to overuse the word bangers because they're setting a standard of excellence for bangers. Seriousness out the window. All fun. And I am all the way here for it with 100 gecs. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard with Silver Cord. It was a fun electronic album. I did enjoy it. It is a great companion to my favorite album, which we'll talk about a little bit. But now we're getting to the top 25. Anberlin with the Convinced EP. And did Anberlin? Yeah, they made my cut last year. With the Silverline EP. Talked about some vinyl variants and stuff of it. This year's great. Really love Anberlin. Favorite band as a teen. And they broke up and came back. They're great indie rock, if you've never heard of them. Sort of pop punky. I'm more on that side. And this album is going more of pop rock with a hardcore element because of the guitars and loud drums. And they're going through some drama right now if you want to look into it with their singer being gone, but they want to continue the band. I appreciate them wanting to continue the band. And it's a little weird not having your singer who literally makes their iconic sound and try to tour off of that. It's great music. Then Mr. Andre 3000. He came back this year. Really surprised everybody. New Blue Sun. No bars. No bars at all. It's ambient, new age, spiritual jazz. And the song titles are hilarious. Ooh, Spotify has a compact mode? Oh, it's not such an eyesore anymore. I always make everything compact. Oh, that's wonderful. Hey, Spotify isn't all bad. But man, I was listening to Andre 3000 too on, it's great to listen to in background music, but he was actually interviewed in some late night shows. He is such a chill guy, and I relate to his energy. His energy is really coming through. It's simple. He's not trying to overachieve or do something that he's not. He's putting out, I would say, a consistent, laid back, vibey. Very ambient, not in your face, not flashy. Solid album. I gave it a 7 out of 10. And then we're moving on to number 23, Mr. Zacchaeus, Bryan. I want to shout out Hey Driver on that song. I really loved the harmonies he was able to pull out with the War and Treaty. The whole album was really good. I mean, does it need me to say anything about it to make it any better? No. I don't have to say anything because this thing blew up. And I more so heard about it because of all the stuff that people were talking about. It is amazing. Just great Americana country. I gave it a 7 out of 10. Maybe for its length, I think it's great songwriting. I don't know if it's that I wanted more. It's that maybe I wanted more out of the copy-paste pop country progressions, but that's really controversial. I'm going to talk about a metal band many people know as Dying Star. Dying Star was the song. It has the best melodies of the album. Many people knew Periphery from just like changing Djent and metalcore, but it's kind of funny because this album is called Periphery 5. Djent is not a genre. You kind of hate the stereotype of the genre. And they're good. They just, I watched there's a whole documentary documenting the process of making this album. Really simple. I notice the theme here. I just really like back to basics. I feel like that's the theme of 2024. Just solid back to basics album that hits. It is hard. It's got great screamed vocals, heavy chugs. There's a couple other metal albums on here that kind of beat it out for me, but this one is a solid 8 out of 10. Maybe my favorite album they've done. And now we're going to talk about some jazz. Dinner Party is an amazing jazz combo from the likes of Terrence Martin, Robert Glasper. Kamasi Washington is on this project. One of my favorite jazz saxophone guys ever. It's jazz, it's neo-soul, it's contemporary R&B, but it's something that's going to be looked back upon as something that's just ahead of the curve, ahead of its time, and maybe some jazz legends. We'll talk about one other jazz artist a little bit later, but holy moly. Just bright, fun, bombastic at times, and cool jazz moments when it needs to. Great vocals, features on pretty much every single track. I don't think it's too early to say one for the ages. These guys have been doing it at another level for a long time. James Blake, Loading. It was a great song, but this whole cycle for James Blake, man, I've been a diehard since Assumed Form. Not long ago. That's been my album. Made a whole video talking about every single vinyl variant of that one. But this electronic micro house stuff that he's been getting into, he's really doubling down on his own sound. It's stuff you can tell he's not making for the masses. He's really niche right down the middle with amazing pop type choruses, but just a little bit weirder than maybe your cool electro house friends would prefer. This might be your album too. But hold that thought because we got some more electronic bangers to come. We're looking at boygenius The Rest EP. This is the companion. I didn't enjoy it as much as the record. Loved the record. Made a whole video talking about every single pressing of it and my reaction to how it wrecked me the day it came out. Just beautiful. If you enjoyed it, the full record and you needed a little bit more like I did, it was a beautiful piece, and I hope they come back because the star power of these three women, they're changing the game. Indie girls for the ages. Now we're going to talk about a little band. Where are we at? We're at number 18. A bit of emo pop punk, a band you probably never heard of because I hadn't heard of them until I went to Evansville, Indiana. The Chugs. These guys are hilarious. Chug With You Forever might be one to check out. The melody, yeah, no monthly listeners, 400 monthly listeners. Melody of this song is amazing. And really well produced. Got it on vinyl. The Cancept album. Give it a shot if you like some of that emo pop punk, but really wanted to shout them out, especially since I hadn't heard of them. Shout out to Atmosphere Collectibles, the record store, for giving me a great recommendation. Got to talk to them too about tons of other stuff. A record store talked to me, shared all sorts of record store tips and stories from the past. So I really appreciated them and love that they gave me this recommendation. Next one we got, I believe this is the one I just discovered a couple hours ago. But I've known Rabea Massaad at least a decade. If you like your guitar tones and your metal done right with care, with appreciation, every waveform, this guy has been doing it on a scientific level. He is so good. And the drummer is amazing. This is a band called the Totemist. And Rabea Massaad, the less we know EP. It's djenty, it's instrumental, and it's kind of progressive metal rock. But you need to give this a shot. The song Dos Huevos. That's the one. Whoa. I couldn't believe this. I mean, the cool thing about this band, the Totemist, now, is once you find out how good Rabea is, if you listen to it and you love it, go check out all of Rabea's stuff. You can find his stuff in Dorje. He was in a band called Tosca. And it's a whole rabbit hole. So you'll love that. Tesseract, we're going to talk. Oh yeah, Djent and progressive metal. These guys have put out some of my favorite metal albums. They're really in a lane of their own, I would say, in sound, with some beautiful pop vocals, but incredible screams and really heavy, chuggy, time-warping bends. Really got to check them out. This album is very progressive and very ambient and heavy riffs that'll just destroy you. It was one of those two I could turn down and sort of fall asleep to as well, because it's so hypnotizing at moments. Once you get used to it, yeah, just go check that out. It's beyond solid. Did want to talk about the Foo Fighters, a little indie band. I think the first song, Rescued, is probably the best one on the whole album. It just summarizes the energy that Dave Grohl, R.I.P. to his mom, and to, man, just drummer. You got a new drummer now. Taylor Hawkins was one of my favorite drummers. And they still got it, man. They recovered. That's not even the right word, man. They continued that energy and vibe to the same level, high level that they've been at. Great, solid album. Again, all of these albums, just as a holistic experience, really moved me. When we're in the top 15 now, so I'm going to shout you somebody you've never heard, most likely. Mr. Joe Vann. If you've never heard him, most people would say Sweetheart, but I think you need to check out, just listen to the whole album. Move On is just a very simple, elegant, beautiful acoustic ballads, very indie folk, and plenty of space. He's in another band. There's a whole rabbit hole with him too, from Indian Lakes, and that rabbit hole this great NPR has done even some stuff talking about From Indian Lakes. Really cool community, and man, it's been cool connecting with the Discord for From Indian Lakes, and even some people I've sold vinyl to. Got to connect with them over From Indian Lakes, and they got to meet the From Indian Lakes guy. So I feel sort of connected to From Indian Lakes too because of that. Anyway, such a beautiful, simple album. We're going to go into another dance direction with Miss Slayyyter. I don't know what to suggest to you. And we're probably going to have to blur some stuff out, unfortunately, because she's not necessarily YouTube algorithm friendly. But those electronic dance beats are the most friendliest, most groovy electronic dance stuff that I heard. It just sounds so good on loudspeakers. Finally appreciated Slayyyter for all the talent that she has. Electropop dance, I gave it 8 out of 10. We're kind of in the 8 out of a 10 range for me. Truly an album, electronic dance album, that's worth a full listen from start to finish. I can't say that about a lot of electronic albums at all. You can't say that a lot about rap albums either, but I will say Mr. Travinsky Scott, I'm not necessarily going to give Travis Scott a bigger platform by promoting it. I just genuinely loved it. Travis Scott, Utopia. I really even have said in other videos, I'm going to make a compilation of me self-owning myself for saying this, but I didn't enjoy Travis Scott at all. Liked his collabs with James Blake. Liked a couple songs from Astro World. A couple songs from Rodeo. You know, I don't have a lot of sympathy for Travis Scott after the Astro World tour drama and all that crap. We're not even getting into all the drama surrounding this man. But this album's great, man. They did bring a whole crew together, his team. And it's pretty conceptual and really fun. Del Resto Echoes. It's probably my favorite, even though they really didn't use, heard some people talking about how much they didn't really use, I don't know how to say it, they didn't really use Beyonce to the degree in which Beyonce would deserve. With such vocal prowess. But I'll say she and everyone else on staff for this song really came through with just atmospheric banger. Another atmospheric banger. Man, these segues are going so smooth tonight. I really love the one it just works out like that. Draag. This was a recommendation from the Rando channel. Shout out to him. I'm going to link it below. But man, shoegaze. I didn't really think there was a lot of good shoegaze outside of the lo-fi world. I was wrong. This album from start to finish is immaculate. We're into the top 10. This is huge. Number 10 is big time for a lot of reasons. Wow. Miss Kirsten Edkins with Shapes and Sound. 400 monthly listeners. Underground jazz? What? Yeah. And you know who her mix engineer is? The legendary Kevin Gray with an all-tube, all-analog studio. Master tapes. They're recorded direct to 2-track master tapes, fully analog from start to finish. It wasn't even on streaming until like October of this year. Something crazy. It came out in like March 2023. I really don't have an issue with it. It really should be a perfect score. We're in the 9 out of 10s. But here's the problem. You really can't appreciate all the nuances until you really listen to it on vinyl. Because it was made for the vinyl. Great saxophone player. Great band. You can really hear the whole band across the room. And you can appreciate it even if you just stream the digital. But you gotta hear it. It's the best jazz album of the year. Best jazz album I've heard in a long, long time. Immaculately recorded and modern sounding. But it has this old school vintage vibe. It's just a great combo. Punch of everything that you would love. That we love about the art of music. Another band I love shouting out. because they wrote one of my favorite, just sludgy technical death metal albums called Dark Future in 2017. Check that out. It's conceptual, loud, weird, and a fun ride. These guys are fantastic, very, still very underground. They just put out one of the best metal albums, prog metal, technical death metal. Time Will Take Us All by Entheos. If you really like to sit down and enjoy your death metal with lots of twists and turns, almost like a full story kind of laid out, that's your album. Look no further. Next album I'm going to talk about is really sweet and chill. Mr. Sufjan Stevens. Wow. Really beautiful. One of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. It's really, he has a way with putting sounds together in a format that's just digestible for the masses. In a way that Bon Iver was kind of doing. I really just fell in love with that indie folk sound in the early 2010s. Sufjan's a legend. This album doesn't need any more of my praise. A lot of these top albums have been getting the praise they deserve, and this is one of them. It's truly heartbreaking, and you can hear some of the torment and beautiful poetry. Just another reason why we love an artist just laying his entire self wide open for everybody. Beautiful. And I'll tell you who's laying the entire electronic scene. Mr. Skrillex. He's done it again. This guy just keeps raising the bar and raising the bar. That's what I love about electronic producers who do it well, is you can instantly recognize their sounds. And I'm telling you that it's just fun, man. This whole album. The interesting controversy that happened was he remixed the album after it was produced. Very, very Ye-like move to do. And some of the fans didn't like it. Skrillex, obviously, wanting to make it exactly how he wanted to. Tweaked a couple things. I don't know. It still sounds great. Just fun international sounds all over the place on this one. The bass is literally the best bass possibly I've ever heard in Rumble. It just moves the speed. It moves the whole room when you put that song on, wherever you are. If you appreciate bass, oh, you're gonna love it. Oh, you're gonna. But don't listen to the one with the cute porcupine on it. Skip that one. Go to this one. We're talking about Paramore. They're back. We knew they would be back. They had promised this album, but they needed a break. And this is an example of a band taking a break, taking their time, doing it their way, and coming up with something that raises the bar once again for the whole genre. This whole sound of pop punk, post punk. They're not just aiming for the radio, which any of these could be on the radio, especially Crave or Running Out of Time. These songs are just so good. But Figure 8, there's something about the urgency of that song is just what I love about Paramore, and the very staccato and syncopated rhythms just capture me. And her voice, the way it pushes the whole band up a notch. You couldn't really have Paramore without all the members that they have right now. I mean, I don't know. This is one of the best post-punk revival indie rock. I mean, it's the best one of the year, but it's just one of the best ones I've ever heard. Best comeback indie rock albums I've ever heard. King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. A lot of my channel, you know this, is me talking about these guys, but this album really is one of the best albums of the year. Number 5, we're in the top 5. Then put out a thrash metal album. These guys have done every single genre. There's prog metal in there, nuclear apocalypse based, adorable dragon on the cover. about how, this fantasy of this dragon destroying the world. And musically, it is just solid. I knew I would like it just because it sounds great and it's well recorded and it's fun, it's creative, whatever. But it actually musically grew on me the more I studied it. It's very catchy and hooky, but it's also incredibly musically genius. They did the same thing on the silver chord too, mirroring melodies and rhythms, and there's videos talking about how well they paralleled two albums to use the same melodies in two different genres, electronic house and thrash metal. The same melody. Insane. Genius. I wish I could put this higher. And here I go reading the full name. Petro-Dragonic Apocalypse, or Dawn of Eternal Night. I am reading a script. And Annihilation of Planet Earth and the Beginning of Merciless Damnation. I don't think I missed anything. So now we're going to talk about one of my favorite EPs, also metal. If you don't like metalcore, I understand. It's very aggressive and punky in a niche way that a lot of metalheads don't like. But these guys, not only do they sound literally like perfect, ideal guitar, bass, drum, scream tones, they got the whole package. They're all from other groups that were legends in their own respect. Great musicians in their own respect. They come together in the remains of bands. Every Time I Die, Dillinger Escape Plan, and other bands too. End. That guy from End, those guitar tones, he is a craftsman of sounds. And this album, I only gave it a 9 out of 10 because it's too short. God Made Me an Animal. And that's the name of it. It's legendary. Cool vinyl variants they've been doing too. They've all been selling out. They've been opening for bands like Underoath, and whenever they open for bands are kind of like, I don't really want to go after these guys. They're so good. So now we're gonna, as we approach the top, we've reached a place of perfect albums. And we're in the top 3, and I think it's fair to put a score in this list. Obviously, it's a score to a movie called Oppenheimer by Ludwig Göransson. This guy has millions of monthly listeners. Everybody knows he can write pieces that go together and tell a story with visuals, and of course. But there's something else and deeper with this album that really just captured me this past year, and it is in part due to the whole analog thing. The fact that this movie was shot on 70mm film that's never been done in this sort of way, on IMAX cameras with a special Kodak film made, black and white, special. It's just insane. That it wasn't even invented. And they made it just for this movie, and this movie is about a significant event in our human history, about making of the atomic bomb, nuclear warfare, just end times themes, with literally amazing cast of actors, amazing director Chris Nolan, all spearheaded by that, and the score to go with it, and the music really is moving and standalone. Every minute of it. It's worth shouting out. It kind of ties into the whole premise of why I do this, is to showcase beautiful artists that are complete, a total package that you can deep dive into if you want, or just enjoying the surface. So we had to shout out Mr. Ludwig with that. And we're getting into another perfect album that I finally decided is perfect. I got off my high horse saying, is it? The more I dive into this artist, the more I realize she is an artist of our time. Miss Caroline Polachek. She blew me away so much at the beginning of this year, or end of last year more, with Welcome to My Island, And I heard the rest of the album, and I heard the song Blood and Butter, and that moved me on another level, and just diving more into that. And this whole album, the sounds on it are perfect. The way she manipulates her voice, the way she's able to come up with a concept and carry it out from start to finish, the way she makes songs enjoyable for a pop audience, alt enough and weird enough for that side of it too, and just stuff I've never heard done in music. Creativity off the charts, desire I want to turn into you. Art pop, electronic, it's beyond that. It's just art. Stop at art, not even pop. Because I really don't think she has near enough pop status for the amazing, but she's starting to get for the amazing work that she's just done here. Made me go back to Chairlift, listen through Moth. Oh, so good. How did I not? And Pang. I listened to Pang. Her work will no longer go unnoticed by me. She has completely blown me away, completely enraptured, gave my heart and soul to Miss Caroline Polachek. Now for number one. We're going to talk about an album that had wrecked me, demolished me. I'm dead. I've died and I have ascended into a holy place. I've made it. I've awakened in a 5D plane. Anyway, I was changed in ways I didn't understand. And this album continues to be just proof that, like, a good solid team, I think you can accomplish anything. And it ain't really about the accolades that this album is going to get. It really is about the vibe of three powerful women doing exactly what they want to do, immaculate team around them in a really safe, beautiful way. Indie rock, indie folk, that doesn't really capture it. These songs are heartbreaking. They'll immediately spark tears. They'll immediately make you bob your head. They'll bring stuff out of you that you didn't know was there. Maybe you've been suppressing. Truly is perfect. I don't know how you could argue any way around it. And also the way they tied together the melody of the song Me and My Dog from their last album to the melody of the ending of Letter to an Old Poet. Yeah, it's moving and it's beautiful and it's perfect. But it also goes to show you this is why we love music. This is what it's doing to us. Reach into itself and parallel with itself and, like, just be, I don't know, holistic is the word that comes to mind, but you know what I mean. It's really complete. And I think this video is complete. Of course, there's albums I missed, and the albums that I did miss that you think are awesome, you got to drop them below. And I love to listen to albums of 2023. No shortage of good music, and appreciate you stopping by. And I appreciate you just jumping in there, spreading the love. The music community that you've been doing in your own way. So, that being said, just keep on grooving your way.